Yo, it's the Cory Cash podcast coming back to you every Sunday. Y'all know how I do. But this time, because y'all been asking me, when you gonna have a guest? When you gonna have... Now, today, I have a special group of people.
I appreciate that little compliment.
Listen, a special group of people. Special group of people. And I would like them to introduce yourselves. The breakdown, and then we also have the morning after.
Yeah.
Cass.
Yeah.
Like
Introduce yourself.
It's like a podcast coalition.
Yeah, we're trying to unite under the forces of the sun.
So you got the breakdown. That's myself, Brandon, and Rayvon.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And you have the morning after with Misha Cole, and I'm Misha Cole.
So when do we put our rings together and form Captain Planet?
Right now.
Captain
I think that'll be
Podcast.
I got dibs on Earth.
Earth was whack.
Yeah, it was trash.
Yo,
This is the African dude?
Nah,
No, who's
that was
Earth? The Indian dude.
No,
The Indian dude was hard.
It was Earth. Wait, the African dude was Earth?
That's gonna be
Africa
Earth.
gotta be hard.
Of course it was
No,
Earth.
no.
No, it was Earth because they steal all the resources
Oh.
out of Africa.
Hart was definitely the Indian dude. Hart.
Nothing happened.
Captain Planet was a dead punk, though, if you look at it. Like, he used to get beat up for people.
mean-
He want to press people for littering.
I mean, listen.
Shut up.
Yo,
Go
pick up
somewhere.
We all about to die because niggas been littering for years.
That's a fact.
My nigga Captain Planet was on or something.
Yo, you know they
Trying to
say...
save us.
You know they say 85% of pollution is from cow farts, bro?
The methane.
The methane in cow farts.
Apparently, it's a lot of methane in cow farts.
You can make.
So because we breed more of them, it makes more.
Yes.
You could physically make gasoline out of cow poop.
So what that mean? Like, is really we produce too many white people, which means because they the ones making the cows, which means that it's white people who produce the most. That's if you want to count backwards.
I knew it was coming.
White
so
people
that-
are literally killing
So
us.
that means the 15 or the 2% is littering, of course. I don't know what the rest is.
I mean, there's also the greenhouse effect and the carbon footprint.
Don't forget about the shit that's on the soda cans.
So
that gets
people
stuck
literally
on-
stop eating cows so they can. They said cars don't even do like a huge percentage of pollution,
Yeah.
in which they claim it does. That's why they want to make electric cars and shit like that.
I didn't know that.
Imagine an electric car, you going on a trip, that shit just break down on the highway and just stop because you got to recharge that shit.
I mean, regular cars could break down too. To be
But I'm
honest
just
with
saying,
you.
imagine the shit just die. The shit on 1% and she just die on the highway.
Listen, if that means you driving on 1%, you been knew that shit was on 1%.
That's a
you
fact.
like, yo, I can make it.
But what
I can
if
make
it's like an iPhone and start jumping out there while the battery? It be on 62, then
it.
jump
At
to
least,
38.
at least if that's the
That'd be
case, you
some
might could fuck around and charge it in the sun.
Oh, word.
Or you
Solar
could crank it. You could crank it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
I mean,
You ever had to use those crank chargers for the iPhone? You really gotta crank that shit for like 6 hours for to get 2%.
That is crazy.
that's for the batteries.
I got a question for y'all. What made y'all start podcasting?
That's on Rayvon.
It's a long story, but I listen to podcasts religiously. A few years ago, I listened to them. For me, podcast started with like video games. There's a lot of podcasts that are in the video game sphere, so I listened to them and I just like, yo, let's just start a podcast. And then we did it for a while. We had a couple of false starts. We did a couple of shows trying to figure out, casting, trying to figure out, consistency in terms of what we want to call the show, how we want to do it. And then we kind of fell off for a few years, and
A few.
it fell off for a few
We didn't
years.
really fall off. I think it just wasn't popping.
Yeah,
And so, niggas was living, and it wasn't popping, so there was no reason to continue. And then niggas was like, then black people started doing it.
yeah. So once black people was doing it, it was like, you know what, we can get
Out of
this
nowhere,
up.
you
I'm not
started
gonna
hearing
lie,
the
that
word.
is a fact. Nori and Taxon is a big influence for me. Nori because of the drinking and the questions he asked. It's just like, brother, do you eat ass, brother? Like just randomly, like in dead of a minute.
I think I found a new.
The crazy part is they were late to
After
the
2
game
years.
though, because
They
like
were.
Charlamagne and them was doing it,
Charlamagne is another influence as far as speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was like other people who, like, I think the average person who made a commute was listening to things like The Read,
Yeah.
and whatnot, and I would hear it, and then like I'm like, yo, niggas talking about podcasts. We was podcasting,
Right.
and so then I was like, yo, niggas need to jump back in the podcast. As soon as we started talking about jumping back in the podcast, that's when Charlamagne, that's when Taxstone, that's when all the niggas started doing it, and I was just like, It's my time.
It's my time. It's my time.
To answer your question from my end of the story, I started doing radio in college.
Okay.
And that's where I got my start. And I got real popular off. I became the big kid on campus.
Okay.
But I was a freshman.
I hope they know that. If they listening and they come to Cory Cash podcast, I hope nobody hit Cory Cash up like, she wasn't even that big, man. If I'm being honest with you.
But, I mean, I went to college out in Long Island. So, Long Island.
Is colleges in Long Island?
There's colleges.
Is it people in Long Island?
There are people in Long Island, yes. And
it's
I went
just
to
pools and shit.
I went to 5 Towns College, and it wasn't that big of a college, but like everyone knew each other enough to be like, oh yeah, no, she hosts her own show. But normally, the reason why I got my own show, I was like the first freshman to get a show on campus, and normally freshmen wouldn't do it. Then they would do it like junior year. So it was just like, oh shit, she's gonna get real popular off this. And that's when everybody started inviting me to parties and stuff like that. Like there's this party in 5 Towns we call the 4th, and they do it every December.
Do you have to
4th.
say it like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The 4th?
The 4th. Yeah.
You gotta say it like that.
That sounds like an Italian lady said that shit.
Yeah, Long Island is like half Italian.
Half Italian.
Irish and shit.
Right.
Long
And
I mean, Staten Island like 105%.
Yeah.
There's like 0.001% black people there.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you get off the ferry, there's a
bunch of
right there.
Yeah.
Everybody that the real New York City don't want, they just push it over there.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
But yeah, so that's how I got my start, and then like I started working in like a radio station, online radio stations, and that was pretty interesting. And I worked with another show called Saturday Night Live, which these guys came on a very long time ago. It was a show about hip hop, and then
Nah, that was just me.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
That was just me.
That was just you, right?
But we saw Misha in the trenches getting overworked and overutilized. And
I was the only one there that day. The only one engineer that was there.
It was a weird kind of situation, but that also, what she was doing kind of also inspired us to expand in how we looked at podcasts. Because at first it was just like, yo, you put it on like iTunes or whatever. And I'm like, yo, my nigga, we can go everywhere with this shit. And so like I got her like, yo, what up? Like you could bring your shit over here because these niggas ain't utilizing you right. And then we just made.
So you was like on your plantation shit over there.
What?
On some Yes Master.
There was like, I was one of like 2 engineers that would work there, and we would be like super tired.
Slicing
just from fucking with wires all day.
Just fucking with wires all day.
And moving dials shocked. And shit.
Moving dials and shit. Can you hear yourself? All right, okay. That's fucked up.
And like making drops and shit. It was just it was fun, but it was horrible.
Shout out to Brando for seeing you slaving. He said that shit ended years ago. Why you still doing that shit? Come over here with.
Nah, but actually, funny enough, the longer story is that we had a recording studio in Bushwick, and I put an ad out, a legit whole ad, and she happened to respond. Her and another person I know. So it was so wild that the 2 of them responded, and so she came through, and that was really how like we basically kind of linked back up because we knew each other from young or whatever, and well, she was young anyway.
Oh my god!
Back when she had those things right there,
them things that's hanging out right now.
Different kind of times back then, boy.
Different kind of times.
Mine was on different things.
Different things, you know.
But yeah, so she had came and engineered at the recording studio. And from there is when I found out all this other shit that she was doing. And I was just like, oh, okay, I see you, woody whoop. And then it was crazy because it was like, even them, there was a show up there that was doing pretty well. It had like got sponsored by Hennessy and shit.
Damn.
No name drop over.
Imagine that.
You know what I mean? But I saw the potential. Mind you, it was just under a whole umbrella basically. So I had the same kind of premise and the same idea as far as Brooklyn Brand, which is the overall, brand that we all under. So I was like, yo, we got the resources. Like, we got the resources. We could do it, and let's do it. And from there, we kind of partnered up, and that's kind of how we all linked up, because this is like, I be reaching out to everybody, and then it's just like, yo, what up? Let's get it.
Here at Brooklyn Brand, we feed our niggas.
I mean,
that's fucking brand.
I got a question, though. Why the name The Breakdown?
I don't remember. Yeah. I mean, we just be spitballing. Because the thing was, like I said, the site was Brooklyn Brand, and we were like, yo, let's do a podcast. And it was like, we're not going to name it Brooklyn Brand. Like, that's crazy. But then I think it came through conversation. Like, it was like, what are we going to talk about? And on the website, it's basically like a lifestyle website. So it's like news, entertainment, media, tech, sports, game. It was so vast. It was like, yo, like, we could basically have the same conversations with all those topics, like breaking it down. And it was just like,
that's what it is.
And for you, why the morning after? Why call your podcast the morning after?
That's a good question.
Give the blunt
I need
explanation.
You want the rated X version? Or?
Yeah, rated R.
Rated triple X.
Rated real version.
Triple X version.
Well, okay, so it first started where I had my show on campus at 5 Towns, and that was called The Lady MC Show with Mr. Chase and Miss Cammie. And we would just talk about everything under the sun, but we couldn't curse. So usually in the beginning of the show, like, we would be on air. Like, there would be a slot where they drop the drops, and also it'd be like telling the weather, and then they would bring on the show. So one time we were all there, and we were just listening to the drop, but they didn't play the weather. So I'm just there, my friend Cammie all there. Yeah, no, he didn't give me the fucking cookie and this, that, and the thing. So we just started the show off like that. And that's how we really got a view. And I was just like, holy shit, yes, and welcome to the Lady MC Show. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, guys. But, like, really, that's how it started. And then once I moved along to stuff, I was just thinking, like, it would be kind of crazy if someone named... Yeah, it did. But it'd be kind of crazy if someone had a show called The Morning After, and we just talk about literally what happens the morning after a party or the morning after sex or, like, one night stands and shit. Like, that's what I wanted to do.
So it's sex based.
That's the real question.
Because the morning after is usually referred to the pill.
Oh, good observation.
That's what I thought you named it after because it was significant to the pill and it had to do something with sex. So I was like, that's a dope name because girls would listen to that the morning after. That's fire.
So many hoes know about that.
Yeah, so
literally,
exactly.
So the morning after came about when I was literally at a guy's house after one of the fourth parties. My shoe was outside. My jeans were somewhere hanging on a tree. My other shoe was
what
under
the
the
fuck
bed.
did he give you?
Yeah, that's definitely some Bill Cosby.
Well, there was a drink.
But we're not gonna get into that.
There was a drink called at the party. There was 3 different drinks. There was one called Kitty Litter.
Oh God.
There was one called Jungle Juice, and there was one called the Blue Laid Man.
And he gave you that blue laid man because your clothes was outside.
My pants was outside.
But you had panties on in your.
Yes, I had panties on. My panties were hanging on the TV. My shirt was in the bathtub.
What the fuck kind of penis did he give you? What the fuck is going on?
I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the fuck is going on.
And I was just thinking, I just woke up the next morning. I was just like, hangover, and I was like, I should have a podcast called The Morning After.
That's crazy.
So he literally gave you a roofie.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
This is a story of sexual abuse.
Right, it definitely sounds like hella rape.
Call the hotline if you're dealing with the same type of problems of the morning after.
Nah. I literally remembered everything that night, and then I remembered my jacket.
How you remember everything? But you would have never put your pants up there if you remember everything.
Because I threw my pants. I thought what I thought was on the window ledge thing there, but no, it went farther than that.
Why was your pants off?
Because we were just about to fuck, and I wanted to fuck him.
Oh.
That's when the story gets.
Also, I was really high at the time. So
there
yeah.
was no drugs involved. She just wanted to fuck, and she was just
No, because my jacket smelled like a shit of weed afterwards. I was just like, where did all this weed come from?
You know what would be dope? If Plan B sponsored your podcast.
Oh God!
Tell me how dope that would be.
I would feel
Nobody
some
would use
type of
condoms.
way.
No, I don't think.
But then we would get a lot of listeners.
Nobody. If Plan B sponsored a show, first of all, the support level will be out this world. 2, girls will be hitting up. Can I just be on your own podcast? Soon as the shit go off air, yo, you got the Plan B. I need that shit.
And I need both
pills. This nigga ain't shit. He ain't got a job. I just fucked him because I thought he was cute.
Damn.
You got a multitude of bum dicks under her belt.
I would feel okay, but then I'd feel really bad because I'm just like, shit.
But going back to what you said, that Hennessy sponsorship, I need some type of something, because that'd be dope, my nigga.
You gotta mention them.
You know what? You gotta hit them. Hit their media page.
You got it.
I don't think I would do Hennessy. I had a bad experience with Hennessy. I don't know if y'all didn't listen to the podcast.
Definitely ain't gonna get it now.
Listen, the thing with Hennessy is I went to a lounge. I drank Hennessy. I drank 4 cups while I was standing in the club. You know, I think while you stand in the club, you don't feel like shit. Walked outside. That's when reality hit.
That cold hit you,
bro. I could not walk straight. So I'm like, I feel like I'm about to throw up. I ate Burger King, and I usually don't even eat fast food like that. Got in the car. When we got to the block, I threw up. When I threw up, I remember me trying to go upstairs. All I know is I woke up. My friend told me he found me outside with my hands in my pockets, sleeping on the stairs. So I no longer drink Hennessy. Then I tried to drink it when we went to Sin City. Disgusting. It turned my stomach inside out. I just don't.
Try to drink what?
Hennessy when I went to Sin City. Again.
So
I tried to make a return. Because I usually make a return after those type of experiences. But this one, it seemed like I'm not coming back.
That happened to me with Absolute Brooklyn.
That happened to me with
Absolute Brooklyn. I never even
disgusting.
That's
Absolute incident all disgusting to me.
Nah, but that Brooklyn shit.
Disgusting.
I mean, as much as we like to show support for Brooklyn, that Amsterdam.
No, that was bad. Sorry, Spike. Like, no, what happened was
Spike Lee.
We had the joint, right? And
out of all people?
Yeah, he's
the most conscious, like.
Nah, yeah, I mean, he's
conscious. Black,
he's
everything.
awake enough to drink. Like,
yeah.
So we had this shit a couple years ago.
He about his money, I know, I could see.
We had the shit we drinking. I'm like, yo, this shit nasty. But we put that bread into the bottle. So I swear to God.
We gonna finish it.
You gonna finish it.
I said, niggas is gonna finish this shit. So I had orange juice drinking it. And I'm like mixing it enough that like, I drank enough orange juice that you couldn't really taste, but it was disgusting. And like 18 cups in.
Oh my God.
I'm 18 cups in. Jesus Christ.
I just was drinking. I think I dead drunk maybe 2/4 of that, maybe 3/4 by myself. I drank the vast majority of the bottle. But this is the first time I learned that you can have blackout moments and then your brain fuses the memories together. Because I didn't realize, I didn't know.
I know I wasn't bugging. Because I remember like him carrying me up.
Right.
But after he told me.
Right. Well,
he never told me. I didn't
remember. You know what it was? Okay, so boom. In my mind, I put my coat on.
Oh, I remember this night.
In my mind, niggas was like, "Yo, we finna get up out of here."
Yeah.
I put my coat. So I'm in my mind. When I put my coat on, niggas like, "Nah, you ain't put your coat on. We put your coat on." I said, "Nah, nigga, I put the coat." Niggas like, "You couldn't even do it." Then I went to the bathroom. Apparently, I was in the bathroom for mad long. Right. In my mind, I just went to the bathroom real quick.
Yo, why the fuck does that happen?
I have no... Listen.
In my mind, I went up the stairs, and my friend seen me fucked up. He grabbed me, took me upstairs, and I just went to sleep on the couch.
That's the way your mind wanted it to happen.
That's true.
And then you was so knocked out, you was cold.
So you think your mind got pride issues?
Listen, I think your mind fuses it because it's just trying to save you from trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, so boom, the whole night, mind you, we get in the car, I'm driving. This is when I learned, even when I'm drunk, a nigga GPS is right. I dead gave like play-by-play directions to my crib. Now make this right here. Now make this right.
But dying at the same time.
Yo, I was out. I'm like, nah, slow down. You about to pass the block. Like I dead knew where we was going.
So, shout out
in
to
the smooth operator voice.
Yeah,
I guess so. I just know I was wasted, but I know that absolute. That's absolutely the last time I'll ever.
I don't even think we've had it since.
No, because I was so adamant.
For me,
I was
light liquor is fucking. You had a roofie moment.
For me, it would be
go back to that.
For E and J because I'm gonna tell
Eases Jesus.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you guys a story about when Yvonne lost to a woman.
I mean, I respect women, and when I lose, I lose.
So Yvonne thought he could drink my best friend under the table. Little did he know.
I definitely was trying.
That was false.
It wasn't a kill?
Super false. So we there drinking. I think it was shot for shot.
Yeah.
And then
my man was already drinking that day. He fucked up. So.
No.
Yeah, I was cocky that day. I was high.
He was
drinking,
super
everything.
fucking cocky.
And that's me. So whatever.
So he lost, and I was there like, oh Lord Jesus, please don't let me die off of this E and J. So and apparently, like Brandon's situation, I thought I put my jacket on. I thought I told everybody where to go, and I thought I went into bed. Apparently, no, she did all of that.
She took care of me too when I was fucked up. I remember being super drunk, but I remember like laying on her lap and she's like playing in my like, oh, you good? I'm like,
and for the fact that she was not like even close to drunk, she was
what
tipsy.
What is she, European, Russian or something?
She's Jamaican.
Oh God.
Light skin shorty from
Only
Jamaica.
thing get her drunk is Guinness. You know what I'm saying? And
Heineken.
and like
What
Ting.
the fuck, bro?
Ting,
Like, yeah.
Ting mixed with some.
Oh yeah, something I did want to speak on is how do y'all feel about Trump launching his fucking missile, bro?
Yeah, I think it was fucking
Yo.
stupid as fuck.
My nigga God
We
King
gonna
Trump.
die?
My nigga God King Trump gonna do what he do, man.
Yeah, you already know.
I mean, 46% of the voting populace voted for him. This is what niggas asked for.
Did
That's
you
true.
now know that Russian missiles are now going for that ship? They about to kill everyone on
Hillary
that ship.
would have did it too, though. 'Cause
That
right
ship is
before
about
he
to
did
die.
it, she was cool with it. She was like, she said it, like, yeah, we need to bomb them niggas. You heard? And then Trump bombed them, and she was like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have bombed them. Niggas like, didn't you say? She's like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? So
I mean, at the end of the day, I've been telling niggas since the beginning of the year, like, yo, get ready for this apocalypse because it's
yeah,
coming.
your stamina better be up there.
Right.
I've been
When
You
the
better
purge
be-
comes.
It's gonna be on some Walking Dead shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my nigga,
man.
you better start doing push-ups every morning. Start with 10, increase it by 10 every week.
I could do
And
like 30.
you do
straight.
30. Yo, you gotta bring that shit up to 50.
I'm trying to,
Because
I'm trying to get 35.
Those burned out buildings, you gonna have to hoist yourself up. You gotta be able to
Damn.
do that shit.
Only the
Parkour
weak,
gonna be your best friend.
Word. Go to the trampoline park. Shout out to Sky Zone.
Word
the
up.
weak people will not last in this apocalypse. Is basically what you're saying here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
You think I'm training for no reason?
I mean,
No
I
one-
watch Walking Dead.
So
I
it's
should know
over
how to
for you
live.
lazy Instagram bitches.
All them Instagram bitches gonna die.
That ass.
Them bitches don't work out. They just sit there and look
What is
pretty,
gonna
get their
happen?
ass
What's gonna
done.
happen to fake asses during the apocalypse?
They ain't gonna be able to get it done. Nobody gonna want to
No.
hit.
No.
Nah, they gonna be able to maintain that. Because don't you gotta get like maintenance?
Yeah, but
You have to
they're gonna
make
have
it,
to.
but it's gonna be hard.
How they gonna get to Miami?
Dr. Miami's gonna be a fucking coveted entity.
Right.
How he going?
Dr. Miami gonna live on the fucking top of a hill somewhere where you have to fucking.
He's gonna live on top
No,
of
that
a mountain.
nigga's gonna be an emperor.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be
The
a
emperor.
fucking emperor.
Yeah,
But in
Instagram
order
machine.
to get to him, you have to defeat all the fucking zombies that's at the bottom to get to the top of the mountain.
So
to get to
Dr.
him.
Miami, the emperor of Instagram, is then, somewhere down
This
in
nigga
Miami.
has his own show on WeTV.
It's about to be fucking Mad
About-
Max out here.
Dr. Miami
He went from Snapchat.
to WeTV. He has his own show.
Yeah.
I discovered that while watching Mama
Oh,
June.
question. And this, I said this shit before, and Facebook went crazy. I feel like black women shouldn't get operations done on their body. That's just me, because I feel like it. We talked about this, and I feel like you see how like you ever just look at like the foreigners, like Russians to be specific, they're just born tall and shit like that, and then you have. I feel like black people, we're born like athletic.
Well, that's because we were bred that way.
Bred that
Yeah.
way. Perfect example. And I feel like black women are born that way. It's just that you have to take care of your body within the time of like changing, like 16, 15, shit like that. Up until the 8. I'm not big on black women getting surgery.
I mean,
Because I've seen girls get asses from doing squats. It's possible. You can't tell me it's
no,
impossible.
yeah.
the problem is it's a percentage of women, and if you want to attribute it to black women, there's a percentage of women who don't feel comfortable with their bodies, and they decide like, yo, fuck, I'm gonna get these ass shots. And then on top of that, the idea of beauty is just shifting to this exaggerated form. So they're gonna do whatever
you
it
hit
takes.
that shit right on that.
They're
Like,
gonna,
oh
they're gonna
my-
do whatever
I
it takes
actually
to
have to
stay
agree.
I
keep
gotta
up with the
agree.
Joneses. They're gonna do whatever.
But does all right? This is my question. We can answer it as men, but as a woman, do you think getting your body done fixes self-esteem issues?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Have you
That's
got your
hard,
body done?
But that's
I've
hard, right?
never
She
got
has
my
But I'm
body
just saying
done.
that's a-
You
can't.
can't.
No,
if you never had surgery, you can't speak on whether or not having
But-
surgery changes your
I
self-esteem.
asked her because she a female. I'm saying like if she went to the gym and changed something, did it change? She can speak.
I
for
do
people.
go to the gym and like
Right,
work
but
out.
that's
Yeah,
like
but
me
I-
asking you how you feel after you ever broke your arm.
No, but you
No,
can.
but
You
if
can.
never broke your arm, you don't know.
But I
So
can't
it's
speak
hard.
for a female.
But you can't.
That's
speak
why
for
I
niggas
asked the
that-
female.
Right, but you can't speak. She can't
But
speak.
here's
for
That's
the
true.
thing,
people
though,
that they
like,
body done.
I'm saying because
She
she
can't
can
speak
relate
for
to
herself.
self-esteem issues. That's why.
Yeah.
You
That's
can.
what-
Wait, do you
why.
put makeup on?
Do I put makeup on?
Yes, just a yes or no question.
Not really. No.
Nigga, yes or no?
I just answered it with a no.
Have you ever?
Ever? Like at all?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've put makeup on, but that's for like special events though.
Why?
Because if I go plain face, it's not gonna really look good.
So that's the self-esteem issue.
Yeah.
that we
I
talking
wouldn't
about.
really think of it as a self-esteem issue. It's just making yourself looking pretty
Do it
for
help
that
you-
special
But-
It
event.
make you feel better when you look pretty, to not be judged.
For me, and my self-esteem and like my pride or whatever, I think it would look good to put it all together. Because say like if I bought this dress or whatever, and I have the perfect heels or whatever, and I want to put on like a little like eyeshadow or whatever to match with the dress, that would make me
you happy.
Like
So
I look good.
So self-esteem is a big issue.
All in words, my nigga.
Like, big statement that somebody said to me. They said black women. This should disagree. Agree. Black women are the only women that have to look at men from their race and question, do they like black women? Agree or disagree?
That's bullshit. Every race got to look at that. Like,
yeah.
every race.
That's
You disagree? Like, or did I say the statement? Let me make sure I said the statement.
I mean, that sounds
Here's the thing
like,
about that.
That sounds like a statement somebody would make, but I feel like you look at that, you find that in the Asian community.
Yeah.
They'll
find it, but they just can't get other bitches because like,
you think
the stereotype is that they got little dicks. So they no real talk, but that doesn't mean that they don't want other women. I think also it depends on the culture, right? Like homogenized cultures.
Oh shit.
Homogenized cultures. Asian niggas probably just don't look at dealing with women outside their race because they typically want to have kids, so they think about the future. I think niggas just fuck, so they don't think about the future. White people just fuck too, but there's a vast majority of white people who look at like having sex in regards to procreation, like, feel me? So they don't look at it like just sex, or if they do, they more strategic. So I give it to you like this: I feel like black people typically will you got to find statistics to back this up, but might get pregnant. Oh, no, you probably can't find those statistics. they get pregnant faster, basically. I remember I was watching this
faster than regular?
like they'll get pregnant by somebody outside of the race faster because of like the lack of concern of like of contraceptives and shit. So basically, like while fucking outside of their race. Feel me? So like so white women are like hella conscious of having black kids because they're gonna have black kids. Black people have black kids no matter who they have kids with. Their kids are black.
Oh,
nothing changes
I see
when
what
you
you're
have
saying.
kids outside
That's
of
some
your
real
race
shit that you just said.
I mean, like you fuck an Asian, but you just got a black Asian. You don't have an Asian black. You have a black Asian. You have a like if you have a mulatto or a interracial or whatever, all of that still just means black. But when a white person, they kid ain't white no more. When an Asian person, they kid ain't Asian no more. So I feel like they are just a little bit more conscious, like.
About the judgment of the family.
Sex. No, about sex.
About sex.
Right, about sex. Like, they'll fuck you. Like, and in the hood, right? Forever growing up, I would see. I always had this thing. Puerto Rican bitches will fuck a nigga, but, like, they won't have kids with a nigga, right? So a Puerto Rican bitch will have a whole kid with a Spanish nigga. It's like a tradition. Have a kid with a Spanish nigga. He'll either cheat on them, abuse them, or both, and then eventually she settles down with a black dude. That's what I've seen my whole life.
I've seen that as well.
I've seen that my whole life.
That's a pattern.
I'm gonna say Puerto Rican bitches that always end up.
How do y'all feel like about interracial relationships? Like
I support it.
Like I feel like a lot of.
Let me hear the question.
No, I was just gonna elaborate on it. Like my thing is like, I feel like when I see a black man or a black girl with somebody outside of their race, they at a point where they're tired of dealing with the same type of things, not knowing that everybody is hurt. Like they don't try to look for the source of the problem. A lot of people don't try to look for the source of the problem. They just want to move on to something that's different.
Because
and I feel like a lot of black women,
source.
black women that date white men that I've spoken to, even though they're treated like, I'm not gonna say better, treated good or great, they still have an issue with not being challenged. It seemed like black women still like that, not resistance, but like the disagreeing point. Like, I'm so used to being challenged, so when I be with this person and I'm being treated great, and the person tell me yes, I'm missing that. It's like I'm walking all over him.
I mean, since I'm not a black woman, I can't really speak on that. But what I can speak on is interracial relationships. For me, I feel like no matter what, I'm always going to likely end up with a black woman because I don't feel like explaining experiences to someone in another race. Like, I don't want to have to explain what it's like to be black. And then if I have kids with this person, they have this idea of what they think the world is, and they're not going to be able to teach my children how to navigate it, like how a black woman would with a little black girl. Like as a man, I can teach my daughter as much as I can.
Yeah.
But as a female, there's different nuances that you can teach, a child to help them grow and navigate in this place. And as a black male and with a black woman, I feel like we can equip our children with the best tools to navigate the space. But if I have a person who's white, even if they may say that they understand the struggle, they understand, perspective of which we come from, I don't think they can teach that perspective in a way that'll allow the kids to understand it. If that makes sense.
It does make sense a little bit from what I'm getting there. But I've been in an interracial relationship with a guy who's super duper white, but yet he would he would be like, oh, he knew like everything about hip hop, which is what caused me like
to even draw towards him.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you know so much about this stuff? And he was just like always asking questions, and he was always into like Jordans and stuff.
This is not black culture. That is very specific.
And like he was also like, but he was really into like going to black barbershops and like talking to them and all that stuff.
So your kid is the kid we don't want to make. Because what'll happen is, so to jump in with this, so my background is sociology, which is just people.
Yeah.
I say that before, so I'm about to sound wild smart for no reason.
No, say it.
Interracial relationships are problematic because they're not wrong. They become problematic because you need to be with a person who has enough like wherewithal and understanding of the situation so that you can have a child and not have mad issues. So for instance, you can't just date the average white girl. You gotta basically date a white bitch with a master's. Like she gotta really have a great real talk though. Because then what happens is, really simply put, you'll be in a situation where like y'all in the whip, y'all driving, cops pull over, feel me? And they treating you crazy. You talking real respectful. And then she'll turn around and go, well, it happens to everybody. But like y'all was doing the exact same thing on the road as mad white people. They don't see shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then like when you raising your kid or whatever the case is, like you have a half black kid, and black culture is permeated more than like just being black. It's like your skin color defines you. Like and then like so if the bitch is German, your kid ain't German, my nigga, they black. Mm-hmm. And then like I remember I would listen to niggas like Yellow Wolf, who has a black kid, and he was like, my kid is just a person. And my kid, like, but by the time your kid is 15 and you're not there, and if you're not famous anymore and people don't know, he's gonna get pulled over. He's just gonna be black. That's just the reality. So that's the tough part. When you young, like, so would we be in interracial relationships, specifically with a white person or with a minority isn't at least of African descent? I don't think I would now as a young person, because you don't think about those things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm fucking this person, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the truth is that you believe one thing, but the world believe a whole nother thing. Mm. So, like, I remember I know somebody who's half black, and that person was like, oh, yeah, I grew up sheltered. I never knew this. I never knew that. But that person looks ambiguous. You can't tell what they are. Look like Arabic or look Hispanic. And that is beneficial. So, if I had an interracial kid, I would hope that kid looked weird. But then that's cool, but that's cool for me. But there's a whole video like on Facebook somewhere where all of these like minorities, these half black and half Hispanic people were talking about it, and they were like, yo, like growing up I felt this way. We're all pretty like much black. Mm-hmm. So we don't understand what that's like. I understand it to a degree because I grew up like, my mom spoke Spanish. I grew up around Spanish people in a bunch of different cultures, and I thought everybody had different cultures around them. Mm-hmm. And so by the time I got older, I remember like, we spoke Spanish in the crib, and I remember I would meet people that would be like, "Oh, black people they can't speak Spanish." Shit like that. Shit fucked my head up. I was like, "Yo, that's wild," but that's nothing compared to growing up dead ass questioning like your whole existence. Like, am I white? Am I black? That's something. And so that's that. And that reason alone is why you gotta have a shorty if she's white. She legit gotta like really be either. It's two types.
She gotta be the shorty that with the blue eyes, green eyes, shit.
That she either got to be wild educated or she got to be a wild hood white bitch to the point where like, and it's crazy because we look at like those hood white people as ignorant, but they grew up side by side with us, so you don't have to explain those things. You don't, even though that person might not be smart enough to like articulate things to your kids, they won't say ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? Like so for instance, a person that's white and grew up in the hood got beat up enough times for saying something crazy. Because they grew up side by side with us, and they probably like, that's why you're here nappy, because they grew up hearing those jokes. But then when a white person say it hurt a little bit more because they white, because they hair not nappy. So shorty got punched in her mouth a couple times. So when she have a kid, she not gonna say that because she gonna be like, yo, I remember that time I got punched in my mouth for saying this. You know? So it's shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? You got to deal with, like, you know, you gotta get a Rachel Dolezal. You know what I'm saying? You got to get you a Rachel Dolezal if you want to have a kid. Otherwise, you going to have a hard time. Like, I see that shit. I work in Park Slope. I see that shit so much. I got mad kids that I see that's all half black, and they dead ass all struggle, son. Like, I swear to God. Like, they be like, I seen kids. I work with kids, but that's besides the point. I'm at work, and I like, it's like a social experiment. I see the kid, little girl, right? She over there. And she's like, you could tell she got to switch. Like, she black sometimes, she white sometimes. And so she with the white.
I think that's a, because every black and white.
That's how.
Like, the men I never really talked to, like, had to sit down and have a conversation with somebody that's black and white as a man. The most I hear it from is like a Drake or J. Cole. And Logic speaks about it a lot too.
Half men be good.
Logic,
they be good, but the women, I met two or three women that was half black and half. I was like, yo, you in my head at this time, 3-4 years ago, I'm like, that shit, you got best of both worlds. They like, nah. When I go to school, I'm either too white for the black people, too black for them.
Yeah. Identity is a huge issue.
That shit is a
issue.
Women,
it's a women thing though, because women got more standard. They got more beauty standards because like with black women, they are condemned for everything, but then over sexualized. So like, yo, your hair nappy, you this, you that. If you got a big butt, now it's popping to have a big butt. But before, like, you know, when slim was cool, it was like, oh, you fat. Or big lips. Oh, look at you, you monkey.
Do you think the things that are popular now is because of men? I ain't just gonna target black men, but I'm just saying the things men like on Instagram or the things men.
I think it's because of white men who have decided, because they run everything for the most part. So it got popping. Like, and then on top of that, it's the way culture shifted. Like, so for instance, only certain things about black women are I guess, valued. So for instance, J-Lo came out, she had a big butt. That's when big butts was cool, even though like black women had big butts. But then she don't even have a big butt compared to black women. But at the same time, it made it cool. So then it was like, oh, big butts. And then Angela Jolie, and her lips was plump, and they go, oh, I love plump lips. Now black bitches was like, oh, but at the same time, if you get a woman who looks like, who has the lips of Angela Jolie and the ass of J-Lo, she would have to have straight hair, or she got to be light skinned. So it's certain things.
It's funny you say that, because going back to the interracial dating thing, I was like, yo, whenever I look at a woman of a different race, particularly white woman, because that's the first thing that come to mind. When I'm looking at them, I'm realizing that what I'm attracted to are features that I find in black women. So it's like, why do I even?
That's
what they call it.
That's crazy that he said that, because that's exactly. If I see a white, I'm not gonna lie, it's rare that I see a white woman and they just have the features of a white woman and that I like.
Like, you see it, you rarely look at a Julia Roberts like, yeah, that's bad. You be like, yo, that's a Julia Roberts with a fat ass.
Yeah, I mean, every time you look at another, that's crazy. Every time you look at another race,
I'm like, all right, this white woman is beautiful, but the thing that I find attractive on her are things that are, you know, stereotypically black women features. Like,
but I ain't gonna hold you though. I do think niggas like dating outside their race more so too, because of not
the
just
non-challenge, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to go
because it's true. It's true that I'm not gonna say what I was saying is how I feel sometimes, because you would date outside your race and won't have those type of same problems because they don't understand. I don't think society. It's hard for a black woman, but I don't think society understands from a black man. And I always put this in emphasis because they don't understand that a lot of men were not raised by black men were not raised with fathers. So we struggle our whole life trying to figure this man shit out. Mm-hmm. This whole time, like, how to treat women. How does this make you look like a man to society? We struggle with that shit our whole time because we never watch nobody do it and idolize them. The people we idolize is like rappers and shit. Rappers, basketball players, etc.
You get balked on by your mother all the time. You don't want to get balked on by some bitch that's supposed to be your
right. If I'm getting,
like another
they don't
thing,
understand.
though.
Like, when I go outside at certain points, when I go outside, I'm like, I'll close at work. When I leave work, I get to the Bronx around 2 a.m. and where I get off at, that could be my last time because niggas is shooting, niggas is robbing, police is shooting. So it's like when I speak to a girl, sometimes it's for comfort, like. Even if I'm not looking at you as a significant other, I don't want to argue. I already deal with a black mother barking. So why would I want to come to you?
It's crazy if you think about the psychology behind it. That's like two people that's stressed out and depressed. And don't they say two depressed people shouldn't even be dating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just gotta fuck more white people.
Yeah.
You gotta fuck more white bitches.
To me, that
You know what's crazy? It was an Instagram post from a football player to another football player. And the football player said something like, well, why you only date white women and some shit like that. And then the nigga broke it down in the comment, and he was just like, yo, because black women give you a hard time. He's like, black women don't know how to chill and just be. When he's like, yo, we in the NFL, we do this, we do that, we do this. He's like, when I come home, I want her to be here cooking, cleaning, whatever. They don't know how to just really sit back and not challenge. Now, in his defense, I think that's for a very specific situation.
Yeah. Because
he's rich. He just want a bitch to shut up.
But I think the problem I have with that statement is like, that's not all black women.
That's not all black women.
It's not
That's
all,
definitely
but it's
not.
his preference. What we're really talking about is like the individual male perspective. And for the most part, I think that there's two types of men that we are speaking of. It's us, who I think we're generally ain't shit niggas. Like, we're not dudes that's really just out here violating women left and right. And then there's the dude who says exactly what we saying, but he fucking mad, bitch, disrespecting every one of them. So what happens is we get judged based off of that. And I can tell you from a first hand perspective that black women generally do have that demeanor. Not the stereotype, not like yelling, nagging, but like at the same time, like
the challenge.
It's like sometimes you like men. I feel like, and this is across the board with black people, I feel like men are just expected to take the L all the time. And I think that's from being raised with women. I think I literally am okay because I was raised by just my mother, is to take the L, and that this bitch is never gonna not be right. Even when
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I really be sitting here.
So good.
I mean, coming.
I really think you have to date.
I like that so good.
You like
that?
I don't mind like the.
But that becomes problematic as the
because
as the
women can't. You got to understand, women. Think about when you in a relationship, right? And the female's wrong. I mean, when you wrong compared to what the female's wrong. When you say we take our L, like, all right,
women
I'm
don't
wrong.
apologize.
But see, here's the thing.
When they wrong, they don't want to hear about it again.
Yeah, no, we don't want to hear about it again ever.
But that's a psychological flaw. That's bullshit because bitches will bring something up over and over and over again. So with that being said,
but if we lose, we're not gonna bring it up again. We're not gonna talk about it. But as for a fact, like if you lose, we're definitely gonna bring it up.
Why?
Because
this is
we
where
want to be petty.
This is exactly.
And that's why
of the balance being off.
When you're in a relationship and that shit happens, that's why y'all continue to keep arguing because you never really forgave. You just said it just to shut the person up.
Luckily, I just forget everything.
I don't forget. I just be like, yo, I view mad as temporary.
Right, but I think most men
like you're either gonna be mad for 5 minutes, not 5 days.
Women be mad for mad long. Like you be talking about something, but then that's the thing. You'll get over something, and then the issue is you gotta really fight for certain things at a point because the women will bring. It's like you stop keeping tally, and that's cool, but she'll never stop keeping the tally.
She'll remember that text from November 3rd at 8:30.
And you be like, yo, that's not even relevant. Like, what are you talking about? So then you having arguments about things, and it's just like
I like to call that
shut the fuck
woman
up.
logic. Though I feel like
what,
that's
the
a
tally?
would like putting like dates and times together. Just
no, I had an ex-girlfriend that told me the last time we had sex was and had this shit.
Well,
the day and the time.
I'm pretty sure we gotta remember.
Are you fucking crazy?
I don't know if you watch the show named Maury, but there are forgetful women on that show, and I feel like for me that would be a reason for me to remember at this date and time that's when we had sex.
Other than her is majority men, but this is something I saw this commented on a Facebook post that went viral, and some was like, yo, it's like same shit we just said, like why women don't never like no, he said, yo, I saw a post where a woman said like sorry. And he was like, it's crazy how I was raised and never, my mother never said sorry. And there was women commenting, but then it was women commenting that was like, that were agreeing, right? And they were agreeing, and the other women was coming bashing, like, fuck out of here.
Women be...
And then, but it was crazy because the women were arguing with the women because the women was like, yo, son is right, though, because such and such and so on. He was like, yo, I'll admit when I'm wrong, but that's definitely not something that we're generally trained. And I think that's really what the root of black women being angry.
But when, like, my thing, like, when, why not? Like, I don't understand.
I feel like
because as far as what you just
for
said,
women.
It is a pride thing, but it's what you said. Like, we raised by women, so if you the only parent, you think from a parent, I don't have kids. I don't think any of us have kids. But when you a parent, you're the only parent. At the end of the day, it's like I did everything, so shut the fuck up. And I think everybody. I think like if you're in a relationship, when you're in a relationship, and if you do everything, you don't want to hear it because if in your mind it's like that one wrong. It's far outweighed by all the right that I've done, and that's
they be trying to like really balance it.
But
on
that's
the scale,
but so with that being said, it's a lose. I think I'll give it to you like this: our mothers deserve that respect.
Yes,
but you ain't do nothing, bitch. So shut up. That's because that's how I feel.
Yeah,
like it'd be like, yo, chill, bro.
Yeah,
like, you're just my girlfriend, and this isn't coming from a personal place because it sounds like it is, but it's just really one of those things. Like
you just really think about it, don't you?
No,
I think about this shit all the time.
I have those issues in my relationship, but they're not to that degree. But mostly because there's enough open communication where there is open communication. I feel like I don't say like Ray Vaughn where he say like, oh, he just forget everything. I don't forget everything. I logic it out, and I logic it out like this, and it might sound disrespectful. It's like you can't be mad at some shit that you understand. So if I understand in my mind though, it sounds like this. Well, bitch, you dumb. So that's my conclusion. Mm-hmm. So if my conclusion is, well, bitch, you dumb, or you just ain't gonna let it go, I'll say it though. But I argue. That's why I tell niggas, like, I'll argue. Our arguments end off with just a stalemate, because it'd be like, I remember we had an argument once, and it was like, even when you wrong, you try to like make both of us wrong. I said, that's because I never fully agree with you. And I can never fully agree with you because if I do, then you'll really run with that and you'll make it seem like you're all the way right. So, for instance, if I'm a dick, because I'm a dickhead, my dickhead enhances and furthers the problem. But the problem didn't start from me. I just made it more of a problem.
I do that sometimes.
Me making it more of a problem, I do it all the time.
I do that sometimes.
But me making it all of a problem doesn't mean that I started the problem. Right. So women want you to just go, sorry. No, bitch. We're both sorry. I'm just 30% sorry, and you should be 70% sorry.
And somehow your significant other is still with you to this very day.
I mean, but that's because there's but then also.
But then he said a big part about it. It's communication. Yeah. That's what's missing.
That's really what it
that's
is.
That's really missing.
You know what it is, and I said that about. I really feel like people of this generation. You can include us or whatever. They like each other physically. Yeah, they get involved with each other. They have sex, but they're never friends. And what I mean by that is somebody that you convince to talk to as a friend. Yeah. They're never that, and that's why when they break up, it ends on some social media beef shit, or they never speak again. And it's the person that really knows you.
Yeah, that's always the issue.
That's always the issue.
Always.
I feel like if you can't be friends with your significant other, best friends even, then like what would be the point of you guys being like?
And that's what I feel like majority of the relationships that are going on today, that's exactly what it is.
I feel like for me,
just be fucking.
Pussy.
I seen a post. It was like females is getting tired of niggas for real. They was like, I'm tired. She was like, y'all niggas of this generation is so corny. Y'all always talking about we just talking. What the fuck? We gonna be 80 years old talking about we just still talking.
But I think everybody's doing that. Like I think women. So for instance, we just were speaking about both sides. I think women fully expect to get wiped up, fully expect all these things, and they not willing. For instance, back in the day when you was getting married, you was whatever. Like there were roles, right? You can't say you want to get married and then say I don't believe in gender roles and I don't believe in this and I don't believe.
Yeah.
Nah, son. Like I just literally we talking about this. I was on Facebook. Shorty posted. Let me ask if he was paying $750 for rent and she was paying $550 and they get together, should they split the rent? And then she said, I'm just putting this up to expose the fuckboys. And so in the comments, she like, yo, fuck out of here. I think she should just have to pay the utilities. And then, or rather, no, she initially said he's saving money by having her in the crib because she gonna hold it down. And then they eventually broke down what hold it down meant. Some people was like, yeah, she'll pay for utilities. And then there was like, well, utilities come out to be almost the same as rent. But then somebody was like, well, I live in Charlotte and my utilities is only $150. Mm-hmm. So long story short, the point is this. If a woman comes in, it's kind of one of those situations where basically what they're saying is we're going to come in and do everything. Now, if a woman is going to come in, clean your crib, wash your clothes, wash the dishes, cook, and that's her job. But I feel like if you're not going to put down no bread, it has to be stipulated. And then you can't never ask that nigga to do nothing. Because if that nigga paying the rent, then that's your job. But then at the same time, women don't want to hear that. Long story short, all I'm saying is bitches is wishy-washy. And so, for instance, niggas is just as wishy-washy as bitches. I feel like the whole generation is fucked.
It's fucked. It's
because
fucked.
Like,
it's not just the women, it's the niggas. It's the niggas because some of us are the reason to their problems, bro. Some of us are the reason to their problems. When it deals with self-esteem issues is because, and I feel like it's mostly us, but I feel like women got
mostly us is absolutely right.
I feel like a lot of times women be insecure because they compare themselves to models.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
y'all look at a girl that's super pretty and then just be like, I want to look like her and go to the gym and try to look. Nah, but models is like 10% of the world. Like,
yeah, like when Tiana Taylor did the video, I had like friends that were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this body, blah 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 blah," and it was just like, do you know how hard she really did work for that body? Like
exactly.
She literally just had a kid, but she was working out while she had the baby in the belly.
The thing is, I never understood. I mean, I guess I can't understand it, but it's just like you can't compare your life to actors and models because they literally work for. Let's use an actor for an example. They work for X amount of time doing whatever they're doing, but they have personal trainers, nutritionists who spend 24 hours training them to get to this point.
Yeah.
You got a job. You got kids to take care of. You got to travel on a train to go to wherever the fuck you got to go. You don't have time to dedicate your entire being to doing this.
Americans are dumb. I was on social media the other day reading just comments, and I was just like, God damn, Americans are stupid. Like, just across the board dumb. To the point where it's like, you logically, we sitting in here like, and that's the thing, you gotta realize we're like smarter than the average people. So when you say, yo, like you can't compare yourself because that ... after because is things niggas don't even think about. Like we know we can't compare ourselves to Drake as far as like how many women he fucked, because as men we know we just can't fuck women unless you're rich or whatever.
Yeah.
But women, because they have the ability to actually change their appearance and it's affordable, then they feel like they can compare themselves against the women on the TV and shit. Like people get their breasts done, people get their ass done, and that's within like a $40,000 income range. Mm-hmm. So because of that, you expect that you can do it. You know that you can't beat yourself up for not driving a Maybach because it's too much money. But you can beat yourself up for not getting to Miami this June. You know what I'm saying? But like, but that's because it's attainable. So for women, the reason why they hold themselves to those standards is because you're one YouTube video away from looking like a Kardashian if you kind of already look like one. So you kind of hold yourself. Now is it like it still doesn't make sense. Like you know the breakdown, but you know the breakdown of what a shorty got to do post baby. Like you know she got to hit the nutritionist, hit the gym, hit this. She don't know that. In her mind, I just got to hit the gym. And then when she hit the gym and she don't scoop that body up, then she vexed. But then she don't realize, nah, you had to do mad extra steps. And then she already beating herself. So Americans are dumb, my nigga. Like, they're so dumb.
I think people are just dumb in general.
It's not. They just believe. I think it's the school systems, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, because we not taught to challenge the school systems until reality hits and you like 21 and it's like, I didn't see this in fucking school.
Well,
they didn't teach, like, perfect example. School don't teach money management. They just tell us what Napoleon did. What the fuck?
And Napoleon conquered France.
Like, I give a fuck about their history.
How was I supposed to know what Napoleon did? Teach me some economics and shit. Like the first time I actually learned economics was in college, and that's when I realized how to actually do a balance a checkbook and how to actually make sure your money goes out the bank right.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, why did I not learn any of this shit in fucking high school? Like that would help me so much. Yeah,
that's what because it's more of a, we don't want y'all to really know what's going on. Just go to school, become a fucking factory worker, and then in 20 years, if you living or not, you'll get your retirement plan.
Pretty much.
And just live. Just go ahead. Go over there. That's what the majority of America does. And they don't they're not conscious about what goes on in America. They don't care. They just, whatever they read in the book is a fact to them, and they don't seek to challenge it. Us, fortunately, we seek, like, yo, this shit don't make sense. Like, I gotta find out what the fuck is this. And we look at conspiracies, we look at analogies, and we think deeper. And I don't think Americans, the spoiledness and the accessibility to too much things makes us lazy.
Right.
I could go to a nigga. I be seeing people on Facebook, like, I'm not even trying to play you in a sense. Like, you ask the question, like, it's just all of us naturally. When you ask what time Blink's closed, you could have Googled it instead of asking us. No, you actually didn't ask us. I just told you. Yeah. You actually didn't ask. But the person goes on Facebook and be like, when Blink's closed. Motherfucker, Google it. The laziness, that's what I'm trying to say. Take the same amount of time it took to post it, took the same. You could have posted that in Google.
Yeah, I would really ask Google though, because you could be like, "Okay, Google."
Like, and it tells you. Word. And if you don't believe what Google says, you can dig deeper and deeper to finding out that Google's lying or Google's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like this shit with brown eggs and white eggs. I just learned that brown eggs, that in UK they don't have white eggs. They only serve brown eggs.
Yeah.
At all.
It's against the law.
That's crazy.
Because it's genetically altered or something?
Yes.
It's probably some bleaching and shit.
So wait. Yeah, no.
I know it sounds crazy, and she broke it down, and that's why the cow shit came up. That's why I was like the cow pollution, because I learned the little mad things. In the UK, they do not have white eggs. They only have brown eggs.
Learn something new every day.
That shit is against the fucking law. That's crazy.
The whole cow thing and how like cow's poo actually makes gas is what I learned in the.
And then the consciousness. What I'm saying is what I did after she told me. I didn't know. YouTube did. Google did. I wanted to find out why.
I learned it in science class though with the whole cow thing.
No laziness, and the access we got to the internet needs to be used more by stupid ass motherfuckers that's in them Facebook comments that's just saying random dumb shit that they didn't know nothing about. Well, that's why you have your Tommy, whatever that bitch name is, that got kicked off. Yeah, that's why you had, because the Black Panther never searched anything about the Black Panther, don't know shit about the Black Panther, and just was giving opinion. They was just super aggressive, running around holding guns. Shut the fuck up. But
anyway. Who cares? She never got a job no more, so it don't even matter.
But anyway, wrapping this up. Y'all give them your social media.
Well, I guess we can start with the main shit. Like, make sure you follow Brooklyn Brand Presents The Breakdown on SoundCloud and Facebook and all that good stuff.
SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, The Breakdown.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Brando everywhere.
Please support The Breakdown.
And you guys could hear me on The Morning After with Misha Cole on SoundCloud.
Support The Morning After with Misha Cole.
I feel like you guys would really enjoy that show. And I'm putting emphasis.
I'm definitely throwing up all the podcasts on my Instagram and my SoundCloud. I mean, my SoundCloud. I'm reposting on my SoundCloud, but definitely on my Instagram and my Snapchat.
It's lit.
It's lit. And we out.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hurry into Old Navy this Saturday for a one-day denim deal you can't miss. Jeans are just $10 for women, $7 for kids. That's right, one day only. This Saturday, get $10 denim at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Valid 3-2, select styles only.